Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So I looked at my calendar and I realized that this is going to be the last Friday class for the next couple of weeks because Christmas and New Year's fall on a Friday. So I'm not going to see you guys for the next 2 weeks. So come meet with me on a Tuesday if you're around. I'll still be teaching my Tuesday class, but Thursday and Friday will be a little bit of a sabbatical. It kind of made me sad. I like hanging out with you guys. So we're going to have an extra special class today. It's going to be a class that's all about the heart, all about love. Um, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about our loved ones and about how hard it is sometimes to not try to walk their path for them, right? To see what it is they need and try to direct them in that direction. And, the outcome of the conversation was this, that each of us is here to walk our path, to do what we need to do in order to move through our karma, to move through our dharma. So our whole job here is to do that, and as far as everybody else goes, to just love them. That's it. Simple. Just love them. Simple and easy, not always the same thing when there's emotion involved, when this mind gets involved, when that memory energy gets involved, when those triggers, those little buttons get pushed. But the answer always comes back to very simply, in any situation, how can I love this person in front of me? Whether it is a loved one who's struggling or it's some stranger who cuts you off in the parking lot and is waving their fist and yelling at you. If I could pause and say to myself, how can I love this person right now? And be that would be it. My job would be done. So everything that we bring to a situation makes a difference. Every bit of energy that we feed into a situation. There's a book, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, The Butterfly Effect, and the butterfly effect it's a phenomenon that was developed around weather, actually. And the long and the short of it is that a butterfly flaps its wings at an exact moment, and because of that flapping of a butterfly's wings, down the road at a different time, there's a tornado halfway across the world. And that little flapping of the wings had something to do with that tornado forming. So everything that we do, every little thing we do, has an effect on something, and we might not ever know what that effect is. Right? So if I can really be mindful to inject everything that I do with the energy of love, then there's a much better chance that the effect that I will have on this world will be based in love. So it's something to think about as we move through and really focus on the heart energy today. Close your eyes, bring your palms together, and just pause for a moment. And notice the space where your hands are resting. Feel the energy of the hands and the fingers, the arms, all connected to the heart. Think about what we do with our hands. We hold hands, we caress somebody's hair, we hug with our arms. All of that carries the energy of our love and our compassion. So bring your focus there. And see if you can feel the energy emanating from your heart, moving through your arms, into your palms, into your fingers. See if you can feel what love feels like. The energy of love. And then just for a moment, begin to bring your palms forward, facing the screen, and begin to send the energy of love to everyone that's here right now. See if you can feel the energy flowing through the screen, just the energy of intention, giving it and receiving it. And if the mind starts to get involved, just ask the mind to take a nap. And just feel. And then let those palms come back together at the heart. And we're going to open with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. 3 times. If you're familiar, please join with your voice, and if not, with your ears. Inhale. Om. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Pause and feel. Feeling all the energy around us, a lot going on in the atmosphere now. Right, in a few days, that amazing phenomenon, the Christmas star, Saturn and Jupiter, will be showering us with this amazing energy. And as we clear and as we connect to our hearts and make space, we'll be able to harness and receive that energy in a way that it will be like our love, our compassion, the peace that we send to this world on steroids. So open for that, feel that energy, prepare to receive. And then moving into our next chant, Ad Gare Name. We're going to do it as a celestial communication chant. I think some of you might not be familiar with it, so I'm just going to go through it real quick. Hi, Natalia. So it's going to be Ad Gare Name at the heart center. Jugad Gare Name, third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening your heart up to the universe. And then Siri Gurudeve Name, bringing that prayer back to your own heart. We'll do that together 3 times. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name, Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name, Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Pause and feel. Noticing like a warm blanket of love, protection of the universe pouring over you. Simply loving you, creating a safe space for you to open and receive. Take a deep breath in. Pull the navel floor, the pelvic floor, the navel center up, up, up. Arms move up overhead in prayer. Reach up. Squeeze everything. Hold that breath. And then let your palms face outward as you gently release the breath slowly, moving your hands through your own auric field. Imagine like stardust, the energy of love and compassion, sprinkling from your fingers out into the world around you. And as your fingers touch the earth, pausing and allowing the energy of the mother to move up, to hold you. And then let your chin tilt up toward the ceiling. Look up. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let your chin move towards your chest. Really slowly. And then again, inhaling, letting your eyes slowly move up toward the sky. Open your eyes. And as you exhale, chin tilting forward, eyes closing. Do that a few more times. Your arms are still stretched out at your sides, fingers touching the floor. Nice and slow. Allowing yourself to just move very organically, in rhythm with your own breath, in rhythm with your own energy. Long, deep breaths. And the next time your chin comes to your chest, pause there and slowly bring your chin back to neutral. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, fingers pointing toward each other, not overlapping. And then just gently begin to tap the area of your heart, your yogic heart, the center, around the edges, just starting to stimulate consciously that heart energy. Maybe noticing a sense of comfort. Right, as you tap, 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 waking up all of those heartfelt emotions. And sometimes what that means is moving some stuff that might feel a little sad, a little grief. Letting that come up. Tears and sad are not bad. They're just sad. Sad's okay. So if you feel any of that, let it be. And if you just feel joy, let it be. Whatever it is. And then let your hands come to stillness. This time, right palm on your heart, left over it. And just take in the energy that you've stirred up, that you've invited into this moment. Long, deep breaths. And exhale your hands to your knees. Bring your attention to your right shoulder and slowly begin to move your right shoulder up towards your right ear. Don't move your head, don't move your ear. Don't move anything except that shoulder and everything attached to that shoulder. Squeeze it all the way up to your right ear. Pause there for a moment. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, very, very slowly, let the shoulder begin to move back down. Slow, 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 letting the breath move out so slowly as that shoulder moves down. Slow, slow, slow. And when you get all the way down, pause for a moment. Notice where your right shoulder is. Notice where your left shoulder is. Maybe you've created a little bit of more space than was there before. One more time. Inhaling slowly, bringing that shoulder up, 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 really slow. Exhaling very slowly, down, 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 down. Pausing one more time to notice any difference. Maybe yes, maybe no. And just pause here and feel. Slowly move your attention to your left shoulder. Letting that left shoulder on the in-breath begin to move up, up, up. Really squeezing it up, holding it for a full breath here. And on the next exhale, slow, slow exhale, letting that left shoulder slowly float down. Again, noticing the right and the left, any difference, any similarities, any space. And then one more time, inhaling the left shoulder up, up, up. And on the exhale, down so slowly. With your hands still connected to your knees, begin to roll your shoulders up towards your ears, forward and back. very gently, letting the rest of your body be so relaxed. So the heart center, Anahata, is the Sanskrit name for it. The heart chakra means unstruck. Nothing can change the beautiful seat of your soul. Nothing can change the truth of who you are. Veils can be placed in front of it. We can mistakenly believe things about ourselves that aren't true. But nothing changes the truth of the magnificence of the pure love that you are. The next time that your shoulders move up towards your ears, pause, really shrug them up as high as you can. And then as you relax a little bit, let them begin to fall back and then forward, reversing the flow of those shoulder circles. Letting your breath move. Feeling your hearts with each movement, with each bit of attention to that heart center, feel them clearing and expanding even more. Maybe feeling the energy of your heart expanding beyond the confines of your skin. And the next time your shoulders shrug up towards your ears, keep them there. And this time, inhale your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms up. And really just stretch, stretch, stretch. And start to flow from side to side. Come back to center, keeping your hands where they are. Your fingers interlaced, palms pressing up. Begin to bend your right elbow and bring it down toward the floor. So that is going to pull your left forearm kind of behind your head. Nice little stretch here. And then back up to center. Other side. Left elbow moving down. And just keep going at your own pace, moving from side to side. Inhaling up and then moving down. So all this big energy that's happening in our atmosphere, the more we empty, the more we find balance inside of us, the more we clear our own energy, the bigger a vessel we have to receive that energy. One more time on each side. And then after you do that second side, just stretch all the way up, up, up. Exhale your hands to your knees, eyes closed, pause and feel. Right, so the energy that is happening, it's big energy and it feels a little chaotic. There's so much that's been going on in the world. So the more that we can become still in our seat, and the more we can open up our hearts, we're going to be like this big cup that's just waiting, right, for this energy to be poured into us, to be assimilated into us. So see if you can feel that bigness. Imagine your shoulders just expanding so wide, and your heart just getting so big and round, like a huge, huge cup. And then a sense of stillness in the base of your spine and your seat. As you just sit and wait for this amazing gift from the universe, this energy that's going to propel us forward into really an era of love and peace and clearing. Feel yourself receiving that. And then inhale your arms up to the sides into goddess arms now. So your elbows are bent, your forearms are parallel to the floor, your palms are facing forward. And then just curl your hands into fists, bring the thumb over. And you're going to just begin to pull your elbows back and down behind you. Move the elbows toward each other, heart coming forward. And then inhale back up, open your fingers. Exhale, fist, thumb, elbows toward each other. And just keep going, eyes closed. Opening, closing, tensing, releasing. Finding the balance between everything. So if we don't allow ourselves to find that balance, if we don't allow ourselves to clear now, then that energy is going to feel chaotic. If we don't have these big vessels to catch that energy, we're going to be feeling like we're getting bombarded by this energy rather than harnessing it. So really going inside, making that space. The next time that your arms come up into Goddess, leave your fingers stretched wide. And then just start to fall back and then forward. Fall back and then forward. Really engaging your navel center, your core. Letting your pelvis be nice and steady. Opening the heart in so many different ways, so many different directions. Really getting into the energy of that rib cage. The rib cage is protection. It's hard, right? And it's a protective cover, but it's hinged. And so it functions in a way that it regulates what comes and what goes. Expansion and contraction. And that's what the energy of Jupiter and Saturn is. Expansion and contraction. The next time you come back up, stay there. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands to the floor behind you. Press your fingers into the floor. Let that heart open. Leaving your right hand on the floor behind you, bring your left arm forward, thumb up. Keeping your pelvis very steady. Don't rock in your pelvis. Keep your lower body very steady. Just begin from the shoulder joint to move that arm up and down, nice and slow and steady. Deep breaths in and out as you move up and down. So our job here on this earth is simply to connect with the divine inside of us, to notice what our karma is, to notice what we need to clear. The next time that your arm comes up, leave it there for a moment, fingers spread. Imagine that you're grabbing a handful of star energy and moon energy and sun energy. And just clasp your fist as if you have a big handful in your hand and begin to rotate your arm around. Start to open that hand and then close it as you rotate around, sprinkling that starshine, sunshine. I guess moonshine too, right? Sprinkling it around. And then when the arm comes up overhead, once more, just stretch up. Exhale it behind you. Bring that right arm forward and begin the journey with the right arm just up and down. Nice and steady in your seat. As your heart opens, contracting and expanding. Eyes closed as much as possible. The more that we bring our attention inside, the easier it is to discern what's ours and what belongs to everybody else. Nice deep breaths. Next time that arm comes up, open those fingers, stretch, 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 then grab a handful of that amazing energy and begin to circle it around, opening and closing your hand. Just keep circling and opening. And the next time it comes up, reach up, spread those fingers, inhale deeply. Exhale behind you, both hands back on the floor beneath you. One more time, really bringing those shoulder blades together, heart up to the sky. And then inhale both arms out to the side. And just begin to bring your right hand to your left shoulder and then open it up again as the left hand comes to the I didn't say that right, but right hand to right shoulder, left hand to left shoulder. Really keeping that upper arm parallel to the floor, bending just at that elbow. And then let your hands float down to your knees. Keeping with the thought of keeping that pelvis firm and steady, we're going to begin. So, Linda, bring your hands to your knees. Yep. We're going to begin to do something similar to torso circles, but it's not going to be the hip. It's not going to be a big movement. It's just going to be from your ribs. So you're just going to kind of keep your pelvis as steady as possible and just kind of move your waist and your ribs around in a circle. Hands on your knees to steady you. From one side and then the other. Very subtle movement, but you should feel it. It probably is a lot more difficult than it is to just really swing from those hips, right? But concentrating on opening up all of this protection that we have. Being willing to become a little bit more vulnerable right now. Right? Because when we become vulnerable, that's when we let that protection down. That's when I can look in somebody's eyes and see myself, even somebody I'm angry with. I can look and I can see me. I can see their pain instead of the fact that they're raising their voice or they're saying something I don't like. And move in the other direction. Right? Always finding balance. A balanced heart is a compassionate heart, a generous heart. And not once in this lifetime have I opened my heart and been kind to someone and regretted how that felt. Come to stillness. There have been times that I didn't like the fact that they weren't kind back to me, but the more I move down this path of truth, the less the reaction matters and the more my actions matter. Come to total stillness. Pause for a moment and then open your eyes, rolling over your knees, coming to tabletop. Once you find yourself in tabletop, make sure that you have a good foundation, starting with the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And then noticing if that is a good foundation for you. If you need to adjust your hands in any way, your knees in any way to feel like you have a really firm foundation, do that. And then you're going to begin to not do hip rolls, but just begin to wiggle your hips from side to side as if you were wagging your tail. So try not to let the legs get too involved. Really let it come from that rear end, that waist, those ribs. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So Natalia, we are on hands and knees. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then come to stillness. Let your knees go wide, big toes together. Melt back into child's pose. And once you get into child's pose, let your arms come out long and then bring your hands together in prayer. And either stay there or bend your elbows and bring that prayer overhead into praying mantis. And from here, in your mind, begin to think of a prayer that you'd like to send out to the world. Maybe a place in your life where you can flow a little more love. Maybe a place where you've been having a hard time seeing someone as lovable. Maybe a place where you've been judging yourself. Just send love there. Just send a prayer of love. Long, deep breaths. And then releasing your hands from prayer, come onto your fingertips and begin to walk your body over to the right, your upper body over to the right. Taking your left hand and placing on top of your right, if you'd like. And then making that journey back to center, moving all the way to the other side. Full breath here. So think about that Sanskrit name for your heart center, Anahata. Unstruck, unbroken. Come back to center. It implies that beneath our stories, our personal stories, the pain in our own hearts, our collective stories of wrongdoing and of opposition and of right and wrong and good and bad, someplace beneath all that, there's this wholeness, this love, this wellspring of compassion that's always there. Start to tap into that as you slowly come back up to tabletop. Inhale your right arm out to the right. Really reach up. And then as you exhale, thread it under your left, coming in to thread the needle. As you bring your shoulder down, maybe even turn your head a little bit so that you're looking up toward the sky, opening a little deeper, if that feels okay. What would it feel like every day, every moment, every interaction to know that your only job was to love? That's it. Not to point out or to judge or to question or to right or wrong, to simply love. What would that feel like? What would that look like? Slowly begin to come back up. Planting both hands on the mat. Do a few cat-cows. And then as you come back to center, the opposite hand, I think the left, out to the left. Yep, thank you. And then threading underneath, bringing your shoulder to the mat, your ear to the mat. Maybe turning that head up toward the sky just a little bit. Protecting your neck always. And that right hand can either be at the top of the mat, it could be on your sacrum. Long, deep breathing. Connecting to the breath, connecting to the eyes of the heart. Looking for a miracle in every interaction. A miracle, a shift in perception, that's all. Every tiny change everything we do, every tiny thing has an effect. Come on up slowly. Lift arm out to the left and let it land on the mat, tabletop. And from here, slowly walk yourself up so that you're standing on your knees. Bring your arms out to the side. And you're going to begin to swing your arms forward and back, so half circles, just swinging them forward and back. Maybe chanting in your mind, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, opening to your truth. And the next time your arms swing forward, bring them all the way up overhead into prayer. Bring that prayer through to your heart, and as your hands lower your seat towards your heels. Arms come up wide, and as they raise back up again, raise up off your heels and continue to flow this way. Some seated sun salutation variations. Taking it all in, giving it all up. With each downward movement of the hands, feel the energy of peace and truth moving through you. And as your arms come out wide, feel yourself giving up a little piece of that protection, a little piece of that fear of vulnerability. What if you behaved as though you knew that your heart would be totally and fully received and appreciated in every encounter by every person that you meet? Would it be a little easier to just love? The next time that you are sitting down on those heels, pause there, hands at your heart center. A deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then let your hands come forward onto the mat, moving back into tabletop. And then once you get there, curl your toes, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. See, Kath, I told you that we'd get there for yogi eventually. Downward facing dog for the pups in the room. And there, begin to wiggle those hips again like we did before, wagging your tail, stretching out in any way that feels good. And then coming to center and ever so slowly walking your feet towards your hands. Nice bend in the knees to make it an easy stroll. And when you find yourself hanging in forward fold Uttanasana, let everything go. Let your neck go. Maybe shake your head from side to side. Here too, inhale through that nose, and as you exhale through your mouth, sigh it out a couple of times. Bend your knees a lot. Let your hands come to the back of your calves. And begin to bring your butt down as if you were going to sit, just for a moment. Just bring it down. And then bend forward again. Do that a few times. Using the back of your calves for support. And then releasing yourself back into forward fold. Let your hands come in front of you, straighten those legs. You can always keep a little bend in those knees to protect your back. Place your hands on your shins. Bring your back up to neutral so it's a nice long back. Yep, look up, yep. And then exhale, fold forward. A big bend in your knees again, this time bringing your arms out forward as if you were reaching for someone across from you. And then inhale those arms all the way up, coming up slowly to stand. Palms interlace, fingers interlace overhead, palms up to the sky. And begin to just kind of circle as if you were drawing a big circle overhead with your palms. Let your whole body just move in a nice big circle, this time opening up those hips, moving beyond the confines of the ribs, letting your whole body get in here. And then as you continue to circle, drop your hands to your sides. Just let your arms hang as you circle. Let your shoulders get involved too. Move your shoulders, let everything move, flow. Imagine that you are just floating like a leaf through the air, just twisting and twirling and turning, whatever your body does. Trusting your intuitive nature to move you through the energy around you in whatever way serves you. And then stillness once more, letting your hands hang at your sides, looking down at your feet, making sure that your feet are parallel to one another, toes forward. And then close your eyes, palms forward a little bit. Feel your strength in mountain pose. Feel that strong foundation. And yet feel that willingness to move and yield, to sway if you need to. Let your hands float back to your sacrum. Clasp your hands together at your sacrum. Let your shoulder blades move toward each other on your back. Let your heart lift a little. Your eyes move up toward the sky. But at the same time, relax your rib cage so that it's not popping forward. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more deep breath in. And this time, as you exhale, slowly float forward. Your hands can either stay at your sacrum or can flow up and over any amount. And then engaging that core, float back up. Your hands pull down toward the mat as your shoulder blades open even more. And then as you exhale, fold forward one more time. Release your hands. Take your right hand, place it on the outside of your left ankle or shin. Left arm up to the sky, opening up in a twist. Inhale, exhale, release down, and change sides. Deep breaths. Release down. Big bend in your knees as your arms come out wide, rising up, 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 bringing yourself up to stand. Palms together overhead. Bring that prayer right through the midline of your body as you dive down toward the mat again. Inhaling wide and around, and just keep moving. This time a standing sun salutation variation. A moving, living prayer to be love. And all the songs, right? Peace begins with me. Be love. Be the change. All that stuff that we hear all the time. How can we put that into practice now when the world needs it so very much? And the next time that you reach up, stay up. Arms reaching toward the heavens. Bring your palms together down to your heart center. And then let your palms open up so that they're facing forward. And just begin to press your right palm forward as you pull your left back. And then press your left forward as you pull your right back. Just a little twisting motion here. Again, moving that rib cage, reminding yourself of how flexible that hinged armor is. It protects our hearts not to hold everything out, not so that our hearts don't get broken, but to regulate what comes and goes so we can find that balance of loving me and then from that place of loving you. When I attend to my karma, when I attend to my dharma, and don't interfere in yours, I just be love so that you can do yours. Then there's this balance that happens. It happens universally. We're not cookie cutters. Not one of us is exactly the same. You get to be you, I get to be me, and we can still love each other. Wow, right? The next time that your right hand is pushing forward, your left is pulling back, shoot both arms up to the sky, come to center, twist over to the right, back to center, just twist from side to side a few times. And then come to stillness, let your arms drop down to your sides, pause and feel. Inhale, arms wide up and around, prayer overhead. Diving down toward the mat, bringing that prayer to the mat as you bend your knees, plant your hands. Right foot steps back, left to meet it. Knees gently landing on the mat. Press back into child's pose. Resting your third eye on the earth, on your hands, wherever. Letting your breath be easy. Feeling the interconnectedness of everything around you. Imagining in your mind, with each breath, your energetic body getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you look down into your heart, imagine that you see the moon and the sun and the stars and the planets, all inside the vast universe inside of you. Your heart energy is so big that it can contain everything, the infinite. And imagine you pouring your love into every planet, through the universe. Imagine the earth receiving a showering of love. And imagine a sea of faces in front of you, with their palms open and their eyes up, being soaked in the energy of love like rain pouring down. And watch the softness that occurs in each and every one of this sea of faces as they receive pure love. Take that in. Let that vision relax every bone, every cell, every muscle, every ligament in your body. Relax into your love. And slowly make your way up to hands and knees. Your choice here, a few cat-cows or some hip circles, whatever your body needs. And when you feel ready, come to center and make your way to your back. And once you get there, you're going to bring your knees into your chest. Place one hand on each knee. And begin to circle your knees away from each other and then toward each other. Nice big circles, opening up those hips. And then move in the opposite direction. Bringing your knees back into your chest. Roll over to your right side and really curl up into a fetal position on your right side. Bring your knees really close into your chest, as close as you can. And then from there, you're going to begin to bring your left arm up to the sky and start to open up, bringing it to the left of the mat, opening up into a spinal twist. Letting your shoulder move toward the mat. Your eyes looking at that extended left arm. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your left arm back, finding yourself back into that fetal position on your right. And then roll over onto your back. And then over to your left side. Curling up into fetal position, really curling into yourself before bringing that right arm up and letting it move toward the right. Long, deep breaths. Acknowledging how scary it can be to open that heart, to really show your true love to this world. It takes courage, but we're warriors, every one of us, and we have each other. Begin to bring that arm back, coming back into that fetal position. One more time, squeezing into yourself, and then rocking onto your back. Bringing your knees into your chest, really curling your nose toward those knees as you wrap your arms around your knees. And then release your head, your shoulders down. Let your arms go. Bring your legs out long. Take any final stretches or twists that feel good before allowing yourself to settle into Shavasana. Make yourself warm and cozy. Grab a blanket. If you have a bolster, put it under your knees if you like. Be good to yourself. Just like peace in the world begins with peace in our hearts. Our ability to just love everybody, just be love, begins with our ability to just love ourselves exactly the way we are. May my feet rest firmly on the ground. May my head touch the sky. May I see clearly. May I have the capacity to listen. May I be free to touch. May my words be true. May my heart and my mind be open. May my hands be empty to fill the need. May my arms be open to others. May my gifts be revealed to me so that I may return that which has been given, completing the great circle. Begin to deepen your breath, wiggling your fingers and your toes, floating your knees towards your chest as you bring your palms and the soles of your feet together and rub, feeling that foundational energy, that strength, that spark, and really hugging your knees into your chest. Squeeze your nose up towards your knees one more time. And as you lower your shoulder and your head, bring your arms out to a T. Take a spinal twist in each direction. And whenever you're ready, you can either roll to one side or rock up and down on your spine. We'll meet together, hands on the heart center, eyes closed. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in closing our practice together today with a long Sat Nam, remembering the truth of who we are. Deep inhale. Sa. Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own magnificence. Be love, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam.